Yeah, we're gonna get started at 8:30. I got somebody coming in a second that's gonna play some music, or at a couple minutes after 8:30. So the
Hi,
link up.
Grimy.
What's up, RDZ? The link up top is the direct link to the spaces. So if you retweet that one, then people will see it, or if you want to share it around to groups, whatever.
I do as I command.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna get started in a couple minutes. We're gonna be so share around the link up at the top if you can. That's direct to the space.
Dang, it's a vibe in here, yeah? Let's get it. Would you like to hear about some fine art?
Welcome, everybody. A couple more minutes for the other artists and stuff. How you doing, Corey?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Good.
G-Spot with the smooth vibes. I love it.
We have some fine art pieces we're going to be talking about this evening.
Welcome to Fine Art. Apechain Art Hours. NFTs with Grimy and Slack. Okay. What's up, everybody? Should we keep going for a couple of minutes with the music to get started?
You do a couple more minutes. We'll fill the room will fill up. It's gonna
all right. Share that link up on the Jumbotron. That'll lead people directly to the spaces.
I'm gonna send some. Nice.
All right, guys, we got 42 listening and 9 retweets. Hit that retweet button, the repost button. Let the good people on your timeline know where you're at this evening.
Go. I see you, Mike. I see you, Crazy.
The Apechain.
See you, Trey. I see you, Fresh Out. Let's go.
What's going on, Chris?
Chilling, man. I'm excited about this tonight. Excited about this.
Let's go, baby.
See Dong Socks. See Apewell, Wyatt, Dobbins, and Plus. Mobius.
Push Babies just got in here. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. See Dong Socks. Get it.
The music just queued down for you guys.
I can't even hear the music.
All right, sweet. That's my cue to start. All right. Hey guys, welcome to Apechain Art Hours. So first, let me explain what the goal of this space is. We're going to start regular spaces. They'll probably be mostly at this time at like 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. But we're also thinking about rotating time zones because there's a lot of art might do like another time for that. But so basically like looking at Apechain, NFTs on Apechain are getting like a ton of traction compared to like a lot of the ecosystem. Like, and also I think it's like one of the most enjoyable parts for me. But not just like NFTs on Apechain. I think that there's been like a significant interest in like art and like and bringing art back into NFTs and not just like looking at them as an investment vehicle. Like, so like personally, I've been seeing like a lot of other people that are my friends in the space that are like being vulnerable with their work and like putting it out there. And I think that I wanted to host a space like this where we can talk to artists, and it will definitely be like more free form towards the end, where we'll let people up to speak. But I want to like hear from the artists themselves, talk to them about like their backstory, how they got started in art, also like their process for the work that they created and anything they've got upcoming. But yeah, my main goal of this space is to really just give the artists an opportunity to speak directly to people, give them like a picture of who you guys are and what goes into the art. So like that's the focus of this space. It's less of like a purely hard chill space, more like let's get to know a couple artists that we know on Apechain, and then towards the end we open up to anybody that might have their own projects that they want to talk about too, that are NFT projects on Apechain, and then G-Spot is like an expert NFT minter that is printing for me all the time. So at the very end, we'll talk about some of his like NFTs that he likes or just minted, and then we'll pass the torch on to Chris's Apechain Degen show, which pretty much runs all night long. So we're setting up like around the clock Apechain spaces, and this one is kind of more a laid back, get to know the artists behind the work space. So I hope you guys are into it. Anybody can come up and talk, just request to speak, especially if you have questions for the artists. Does anybody have any questions right now or anything like that?
Not yet. I don't think so. Unless you guys do.
What time is dinner?
What time is, I don't know. I don't remember when I ate.
We don't eat.
Yeah, I only eat Apecoin. But yeah, so planning on doing this pretty regularly. RFTZ, I'm glad you were going to make it. I thought we were going to have to do another time for you. But so I guess let's get started then. I was going to have Baron talk about his work first, if you're up for it. He just had a mint recently called 50/50. It was super hyped. I minted a couple of them. I fucking love the way they turned out. Could you talk to us about that collection?
Yo, thank you for connecting and doing this. This is cool to see you guys putting in so much work for Apechain and all the fun stuff around it. But yeah, dude, it was really cool this weekend. Yesterday, I minted out my 50/50 collection, which was 50% hand-drawn, 50% AI generative collection. And
so what does that mean?
It means that I drew 7 different drawings. I took those drawings and stuck it in AI and then used 7 different words to generate all those 420 pieces. And then I went ahead and made sure that they were nice and large. I actually saw someone print it out and frame it in their house already, which I thought, like, holy shit, that's fucking amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, it was sick. And I was nervous. It was the first time I put out art, like this before, but it was exciting and the community received it well. It was a lot of fun, to be honest with you. Like I felt like $1,000,000 all day as the whole experience was playing out, and people liked the art, which is, the icing on the cake for me. That was fucking incredible.
I think that's a creative way of generating art in general. Like I haven't seen that done yet. How are you like inspired to do that in that way?
I've loved art and technology for a long time, and I have a background in art. I just kind of always wanted to create things with my hand and couldn't actually do. Like I could see it in my mind, but I couldn't like make it, and playing with AI, you realize like, holy shit, you can kind of go further than what you could actually create and do it. So
what's your background in art like?
I have a master's in design. I spent 15 years in art school, just like learning everything you could about every sort of art and art history and all that. So, but being able to create this was fucking amazing, to take, art and tech and make something I love out of it.
So like what was your main medium if you were making art before this?
It was graphic design. So all, computer digital illustration basically. So to be able to kind of now have an AI system take the art that I make and then alter it in a bunch of unique and cool ways based on the prompts was extremely fun.
Can you tell me about the 7 words that you chose for the prompts and like why you chose those words in particular?
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to look on what it is. It's been a whirlwind few days, but I just kind of took these 7 prompts based off of some thoughts I'd had around, sitting outside, taking it all in, and it was like geometry, love, passion, like some words like that. Really kind of big words, but things that would, if you mixed them together, could create some really cool things. So I just kept with a pattern. I thought that would be to create a collection. You want to have some kind of symmetry, and I didn't want it to be so fucking crazy that none of it made sense together. So that was also kind of interesting, was creating different stuff, but also making sure there was little subsets in a sense, because I wanted there to be like ratings and rankings within the art collection as well, which was something interesting to think about creating.
And I guess for anybody that doesn't know who you are, like, I guess I should have started with this, but what's your like backstory in general? Like, tell us about yourself as a person.
I probably should have started with this, like, because I do work for Yuga Labs. This project is entirely my own art. Has no association or affiliation with Yuga. No, I'm a crypto OG. I've been making crypto content since fucking 10, 12 years ago, something like that. I've onboarded a lot of people into crypto. I minted my Bored Ape. I've been building with my IP since fucking May 2021, and just trying to tell people how cool the Bored Apes are, enjoying the club, building within the club, built a few NBA products and different companies through the Bored Ape IP that I own. And about 9 months ago now, I joined as the Bored Ape Yacht Club social and community lead. So that's what I do day to day. But I thought I'd do something under my own name, create some art and mint it on Apechain. It's a new world, new frontier, and it's kind of fun to explore and experiment.
So yeah, kind of going off of that, what made you? Was it the launch of Apechain that made you decide to launch this first kind of project, or was it? Were you waiting for a chain, or did you just see opportunity
So
and go
like
for it?
I've minted. I've been around for a long time in the NFT space, right? So I've minted art collections on wax. That's actually how I was able to afford buying my Bored Ape at the time. I took like old college paintings and minted them as NFTs and sold like 1,000 of them for $1, and that's how I was able to afford minting 4 Bored Apes on Ether. But then I minted various NFT collections on ETH. I've done it on different places, and I just felt like it was the next obvious thing to try and experiment. And I always like to be early, so as soon as I could, I created a collection that was something I could stand behind and I was proud of, and I just like shot it out there and was like, all right, fuck it, let's see what happens.
I pinned up a tweet up there on the Jumbotron from hold.sats that shows an example of one of the 50/50s for people that are interested in it, and also the link before that links to the Magic Eden. What about Chris or G Spot? Any of you guys have any questions for Baron?
Yeah, I really like the. It's. I feel like each one of these pieces are, like super unique. I wanted to know, what was your inspiration behind this style of art? Why did you choose this style?
So there's a few different styles. I would say there's quite a few different styles in there, but they're all based on certain art styles and artists that I appreciate and I'm very familiar with, I guess, and I guess I gravitate towards some. Also art styles. So with those 7 words, I would always include a sort of prompt. For some of the surreal ones, I would include like, make it like Dali or something like that. So they're kind of based off artist and art styles that I gravitate towards.
I see. Now I really like these. I mean, some of my favorite collections, they're the ones that are like the art, straight art, not necessarily the PFPs. I really like these ones a lot. They always do well. What else do you have planned for this project in general?
No, man, this is just an art project, and that's kind of like the beauty of it, right? Like I just minted art for the sake of art. If people want to blow it up, print it on their walls, they absolutely can. They're set up for that. But also like you never know. I like to be appreciative of people that hold and collect my art. So I partnered with Biotistic, who makes these amazing thread art pieces by African artisans. And within the week, I'll be doing a giveaway where one holder will get a one-of-one custom thread art piece, and they're fucking incredible. I've seen them for punks and doodles and bored apes, and I don't know how they're gonna make this because a lot of these pieces are very unique. But I have no doubt that when it's done, it'll be insanely special and beautiful. So you never know. Things like that just happen to pop on the radar from time to time.
Yeah. No, I feel. I mean, well, I like what you're doing, man. This is like I know a lot of people appreciate your art, and I know how much time it takes to come up with these ideas and these crazy concepts. So it's cool, seeing you do this. So that's what's up.
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys taking the time and letting me come up here and talk about this, because it's fun to promote people's art all the time and hype people up, but it's also cool to be stoked about something you created and accomplished and put out there, and that people like. It still fucking feels surreal that people even like it. So the fact that they do was like just such a major win for me personally, and it was a cool experience. So thanks, guys.
You planning on doing anything else in the future?
Yeah, for sure, dude. I've already got things cooking. Maybe like a month or so from now will be another idea that I've been cooking, but there's always something on the horizon.
It's dope,
Awesome.
man. I mean, just having because I know like being an artist, it's really hard to share. Like you can have amazing. Like I feel like the best artists, they're like the most humble, chill people. And then when they actually share their art, it's like how you said, Baron. It is surreal. You're like, oh yeah, like I could share this because when you're putting out your art, it takes it's like a piece of you're putting out there. So it's just like when you're able to share that and get and see how the response is, how the world looks at it. Like that's dope. There's a really a lot of artists that don't you'll never know that they're great artists because they never share it. You know what I mean? But
No, that's for real, man. I said this all the time. Like when I make a piece of art and put it out there, it's like a piece of my soul I'm putting out there into the world, and you feel vulnerable, scared, nervous, whatever, when someone's about to judge something you made, because to you it might mean so much, and to them they might love it, they may not, but it makes you feel a certain way. So yeah, it's cool.
That's dope, man.
All right. Well, thank you, Baron. You're welcome to post any links, especially if you had one related to that. I think you said you're doing a giveaway later this week of the thread. So, or feel free to post any links you want on the Jumbotron. Yeah, thanks for stopping in our first space. I love your artwork, and I own 2 of them, and it was great to hear about your process and you as an artist. So thanks. Next up, we're going to talk to Seattle Sales. You there?
Yep, I'm here. I'm in the car though, so I apologize for any noise in the background.
No worries. Let's do it. So Seattle Sales, you're the CEO of Seize the Culture. I was familiar with that project. Do you want to talk about that one at all?
Yeah, sure. So that's kind of how I got started. Like I've been here for a little while. I think I joined in joined NFTs in like 2022, really late into the bull run, and thankfully I came across Renga, and I joined the Renga community. And the majority of the people there are, they're art collectors. They're very well connected people, and they're extremely supportive. And so I started Seize the Culture just kind of randomly. Like I love the idea of owning the IP of your NFTs, and so I wanted to build off of the Renga IP. So I started working with commission artists to create some of these ideas that I had, and I was minting them under this brand, Seize the Culture. And as AI got a little bit better, I actually was experimenting with AI a while back, and it wasn't that great when I first started, but it started getting a lot better. So I actually, like, my first collection that I minted was like an AI Renga derived collection of PFPs. And I did that as a free mint. I dropped it like middle of the day, and it like sold out in like minutes. And I didn't expect that. I went to bed, I woke up, there was like alpha calls everywhere in like the Chinese servers. So the floor price like had gone crazy. And that was like my first, it just like, it didn't take long for my artwork to get attention, I guess. And so I just kept experimenting with all this AI, all these AI tools, just creating all.
You gapped out for a second there. Are you still there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah, I think you rugged for a second, but I can hear you now. Well, not anymore. Now you're on mute again.
Yeah, you're rugging again. Yeah.
Oh, let me pull them up. Hey, Seattle.
Okay.
You back?
How's that?
That
Yeah.
sounds
Can you
great.
hear me?
Awesome.
Okay. All right. I don't know what happened, but
No
I don't
worries.
even know where I was at. I was trying to get to the point where I just wanted to say that, like, Seize the Culture, like I eventually kind of wanted to transition it into like building and creating like all of this custom IP under the brand. And so I started working on releasing PFP artwork in all of these different styles using Midjourney. And yeah, so I've released quite a few PFP collections, and all of them are in different styles. Like, I've released some anime artwork, I've released some abstract artwork, and
Did you get
this
started in? Sorry for cutting you off. Did you get started with
no,
art and NFTs, or like how did you get started with art, like the first time in the beginning?
um so I don't like I'm not like Baron. I don't have, like a ton of artistic background. I've been a pretty creative person my whole life. Like, I've sold artwork when I was younger. I remember like creating artwork in school, and like my family members were like, "Oh my God, this is awesome!" And I guess they were trying to just motivate me, so they would offer to buy my
That's
artwork.
awesome.
And I never really thought. I mean, I always knew that I was an artist. Like, I played music growing up. Like, I was in orchestra. I played the guitar. I played the piano. I did all these artistic things. I just never really like knew that being an artist or working like with design was like my calling until I found NFTs. And then actually, like, just in April, I lost my job, and I was I was like devastated because it was a career that I built over like 5 or 6 years. I was automotive, and so I, I was able to have like my creative. I took some time off from NFTs, and I took some time to just kind of like figure out what I wanted to do, and I I just I couldn't stay away from like creating artwork and Web3. So I'm back, and I've been back since like August, and I've just been working like on artwork full time, and I couldn't be happier. I was working on some artwork for this project called Zoo on Base, and it was just like this art coin that I had dropped back in April, and so I had developed these models, these AI
Can you
models
can you tell me about
to
the art coin thing? I heard about the
yeah,
art coin, but
sure.
I didn't know much about what art coins are.
So essentially, it was just kind of like I I I released this coin in a very similar way that I release my NFTs, and it was just kind of like art forward meme, like like just like a meme coin, but like with like focus around just like having the art be the center of that coin. And the artwork that I had done for that coin was all hand drawn, and then I created like an AI model with all of that hand drawn artwork, and then that led to me creating a couple other models basing it off of previous artwork that I've worked on. And I spent like maybe 2 or 3 weeks generating artwork and just kind of trying to figure out like, you know, what is calling me. Like that's kind of how I decide how like what artwork to pursue or what direction I go in. And it's just kind of like this gut feeling, like an intuition. And so I was just creating, and I I had talked to a friend last year in June or July, and we were talking about the possibility of creating a trait-based generative collection, but using AI to generate the traits, and then using Photoshop and like hand edits to kind of perfect that collection. And so I was working on this model, and out pops out this little monkey, and I was like, this monkey kind of looks good. So I hopped on my iPad, started working on like sketching up some traits, and I was feeding them into this AI model, and I'm like, oh, this is definitely something. Like, and I showed my girlfriend, I showed my brother, and they were both like, oh my god, these are like really, really cute, they're really cool. Like, are you gonna do something with them? And I was like, I don't know. Should I? They're like, yeah, this is probably something. So I started generating traits, sketching traits, putting them together.
Anything we could see that you
And
could post on the Jumbotron, possibly?
yeah, sure. One sec.
Sorry to cut you off. I'm just super curious.
No, you're totally okay. So I have probably close to like 200 traits at this point, and it's really hard to stop making more because every day I'm just kind of like, what else could I add? What else would look good? And then it just is like an ongoing thing. So I just started sharing the artwork, and with the release of Apechain, like there's just like you said, there's just been a lot of attention on NFTs and artwork as a whole, and so this art just gained a lot of traction. I started the Wyatt account for the collection, and it's gained over 7,000 followers in like 4 days. My account's
Was
nearly doubled, and so
damn.
it's really exciting. It's really exciting. I'm looking forward to see like where it all goes. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer them.
Yeah. So like, is this an upcoming mint? Is it something you've already dropped, or is it something you're going to drop?
So this artwork is not something that I've released yet.
Awesome. You got like, what are your plans sometime in the future or in the near future?
Yeah, I was in talks with a couple launch pads. I'm still trying to decide what direction to go and like time frame for everything. I was shooting for this week, but I don't know if that's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen, it just gives me a little bit more time to work on perfecting all of the traits in the artwork.
And I wanted to clarify also. So just like your process, you said you took like your old hand drawn art and you fed it to an AI model and like basically taught it to create art in your style, and then this is produced as a result.
So yeah, so I released an anime collection last year. It was called 666. And it was around the time that Azuki was dropping elementals. And I guess that's part of the reason why that collection maybe did so well, was because it was kind of like like people were upset with Azuki, so they just kind of were searching for the other anime that would do well during that time. The collection blew up, and the model that actually produced Wyatt was a model that was developed off of 666.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I had some questions mapped out, but honestly, you like went through a lot of it. I guess I would ask, like, do you have a distinct style? Is this like kind of fit within your style, or is it outside of your like normal work?
I don't have a distinct style. I'd say that almost every art release that I've done has been a completely unique style. I the way that I'm trying to build Seize the Culture, like I want to bring together as many unique art collectors as I can. So I know that sometimes, like for example, people don't like abstract art, so I might not be able to reach a certain market with abstract art. But it's the same for like maybe PFPs. Maybe some people don't like to collect PFPs. So I just kind of try to have this mix, and that's kind of what my art style has been. It's just been like unique for every collection.
Chris or G Spot, you guys have any questions for him?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
Nah, I mean, I like the collection that you're doing, man. Keep it up. I want to see this succeed. But yeah, no, it's tight.
Yeah, I'm looking through all the way down to October 29th of these, and these are dope. I like how on a lot of them they mix back into the background of the whole background with the color of the actual piece. So they're interesting, and I like them. I'll be minting some when they come out. So in along with, I'm an easy sell too, not like you're selling me or you need to sell me anything, but if somebody's coming in here and it's something that they put their time into and they care enough to come up and explain it and try to let people know that they're building something. We get used to saying, cooking something, but this is somebody's, hard-earned time. And if somebody's willing to come up and let something simmer and let it go to the public, then I'm willing to invest in it, because you hear it all the time, more and more, and you're starting to realize it more and more in these spaces and in crypto in general, that you're not investing in meme coin. You're investing in people than a product any day, And now there are those standalones that it's just, it doesn't even need an explanation, and that's his
Right.
own entity. But art is subjective, and it's but this looks good. It's clean. It's super clean. So I appreciate you coming up.
Yeah, I love that too. Like with NFTs, you can either just love the art and get that for that reason. There's some people that try to trade it, or you can, love the artist. So like that's basically what I want to do with this space, is give people a chance to connect the visuals with the artist behind them. So thanks for coming up and speaking, Seattle. How can people look out for your new collection? Just by following you? Should we have noties on somewhere? Or this, maybe you got a link to this Wyatt account you could throw up on the Jumbotron?
Yeah, so the Wyatt account itself hasn't posted anything. Um, it will at some point. And I'd say the best way to stay up to date is just following me. That's, I mean, the only content that I've been pushing for the last 2 weeks is Wyatt and Colt on Ape. So if you're interested in the artwork, or you're interested in meme coins, yeah, you can just follow me and throw the notifications on.
I didn't notice your colored glasses until you said that either.
Yeah, I love the project. I love the concept. I love the 3D glasses. So yeah, I'm a pretty big supporter. I'm up there in the on the holder list. So I'm not trying to like pump my bags or anything, but I love the people behind it. Like G Spot said, you're not investing necessarily in the product. You're investing in the person, and I agree with that very much.
Well, thanks for coming up and talking. Really appreciate you coming out and like helping make this first space a banger. Next, I was going to talk to John McTavish. I think if I didn't butcher your name. Yeah, John McTavish. Sorry about that. But he's
yeah, you got it.
a big
McTavish,
artist
that's
behind
right.
Mutant Cartel Comics, as I understand, and you got collections on Ape, projects Dinner Party and Dragons on Ape. You want to tell us? I guess first you want to tell us about like what's your story as an artist, and like how you got started, what your style is.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like I'm one of those artists that's like has always been an artist. As a kid, my favorite book was this How to Draw Dinosaurs book, and I would just try and follow the directions on how to draw T-Rex like over and over and over. And as I got a little older, have you guys ever heard of Warhammer?
The video game.
Hell yeah.
No. Well, now it's a video game. It used to be like kind of like Dungeons and Dragons kind of style. Like you have these little miniature figures, you build
That's
armies.
awesome.
And I never even played the game. I just fucking built miniatures and painted them all the time. They had like, orcs and aliens, and it was sick. So that was a big creative outlet for me as a kid. And then in high school, like, yeah, my favorite class was art class. And it's kind of interesting. Like most people who go into art kind of have to, push back maybe against their family or other people's opinions. But it was kind of opposite. My parents were like, "You gonna go to art school?" And I was like, "No, you can't make any money being an artist. Like you got to go to university, get a degree." So I went to university and just partied and didn't care, and I flunked out. And then my parents are like, "So now you're gonna go to art school?" I was like, "Okay, yeah, I guess I could go to art school now."
That's the funniest round trip into art school I've ever heard.
Yeah. And then even then, I still made a compromise. I studied graphic design, so I have my bachelor of design. But
It sounds like art
yeah,
like forced its way out of you, basically.
it kind of did, honestly. Like, so out of school, yeah, I started working for like a medical marketing company as the creative director there, and it just got to be too much. I ended up quitting and was like, "All right, I'm going to freelance." And just every step of the way, I just slowly pushed more and more into doing what I wanted to do, because realistically, graphic design it's a compromise, right? It's between you and the client to communicate to their clients. That's essentially what you're doing. It's still creative work, but it's not expression. And so just kind of every step of my career, every couple years, some major shift happens, and I end up doing more and more illustrative or more and more painterly work. And I've kind of done the full gamut, illustration, fine painting, mural work, sculpture. And then during COVID, when everything was locked down, I discovered NFTs, and it was so fun, and just could make the craziest shit, and people would buy it and support it. And I just decided to go all in back in, I guess, 2021 in the NFTs, and I haven't left.
So, like all in NFTs, where did you start there?
So I started like basically just kind of minting my own personal projects on OpenSea. So like doing kind of editions of works, like a 10 edition art piece or something. And that kind of caught the interest of a couple people. I worked on a couple fun Oni-Force derivative projects with some great artists. I don't know if you guys know Crypto Dilly. He does the Unboxed, I think, by
Oh, yeah.
Apes. He was one of the artists on that back in the day too. And so I did some cool stuff like that. I was doing a lot of like derivative contests, and then essentially this project approached me, and they were like, "We want to do this dragon project. You'll get paid out of mint." And I basically like designed the whole structure, how we wanted the traits to look. And they were like, "Yeah, these are sweet." So I spent 8 months building all the traits for that project. And these guys were supposed to build a community and do the promotion. And essentially they never did that. The NFT market kind of cooled, and I was left, working for free for that whole time, and the art never got to see the light of day. So skip a couple years later, Apechain's popping off. I got the artwork, and I'm now gonna be launching it in the next couple weeks. So the dragons will finally see the light of day.
I'm like looking at the preview that threw up on the jumbotron. These are like crazy detailed. Like I love these. Like this,
Yeah.
like the white dragon with the planet in its hands and stuff.
Yeah. So like as an artist, I always have this tendency to dive into detail, and digital art made it worse. When you can zoom in, it's like a black hole. Like I'm just in there working on each pixel, like like drawing it into too much detail, but I always felt that like NFT projects like could blow people's minds if they like spent more time developing a higher level of render on the projects. And that's what I really wanted the dragons to be. So I just went crazy on them.
Like,
What about
I like these too because it's just unique. I mean, it's unique art, right? So it's a different character, and then each one has its like, you know, from the colors, from the just the level of detail that you put into it, you could tell like it took a lot of time to do this and a lot of creativity. It's definitely one of my favorite collections for sure, hands down. But yeah, I like the whole concept. I like what you're building with this one. It's tight.
Yeah, and there's a lot to share too. We have 5, I guess, different types of dragons. So the different dragon head designs. I think I've only shared 3 so far. So probably the week before Mint, we'll share another one that's so far unrevealed, and then the final most rare one I think we might share the day before Mint, just to kind of get people excited about what's possible.
is that middle one like a one of one, or are the dragons all facing? Because that
They're
one's
all they're all facing to the right, but one of their head positioning is a little different. Sometimes it's a little more sideways, sometimes it's a little more up, sometimes it's a little more down, depending on the like species of dragon, you might say.
And I'm looking at this last one. It's got like he's summoning a biblical angel that's purple inside of his hands or something that looks like it. I'm just wondering, like, what was your inspiration for the traits behind these dragons?
The story that like we kind of kicked off with was that they'd be like these intergalactic beings, kind of like the oldest, I guess, potential life forms in the universe, that they can kind of transcend space and time. And at that point, the metaverse meta was like really starting to pop off. People were talking about building metaverses and all this stuff. And we really liked the idea of dragons being able to kind of being the beings that can traverse across all the different metaverses and visit the worlds of all the different projects. So that was kind of a lot of the inspiration behind these kind of like space-like sci-fi. That's we have like the planets, and that kind of different visuals in there.
Yeah, John, I had a question on these with there's the second one looks like he's got Jupiter running between his hands or claws.
Yeah.
And is it too much alpha to say that there would be every planet kind of spread out through there, or was there a reason that you picked Jupiter specifically for that?
I think I have a couple different just kind of planet-looking ones in various colors. I just thought it was like Jupiter. It's so beautiful. Just the kind of the stripes and the lines of the planet have a nice movement to them and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
But now, as you're saying that, I'm like, damn, there's a couple traits maybe I need to make now too. I got a little note here.
Didn't you talk about something about making a new trait live on Space?
Yeah, so I haven't. I still got to figure out that live streaming for Twitter.
Oh, right.
But once I do, I definitely think it'd be fun. Make a space and kind of get some people up on stage, get some ideas flowing, and kind of use the crowd to make a new trait. Would be cool. Do it live.
Yeah, that would be sick. That would be sick.
And I had one more question for John, and I guess Baron both. And I think that it would be dope for me to know this, and just for my knowledge, because I'm pretty new to the NFT space myself. Is there certain artists that would do a hand drawing of their pieces versus some of them would only print? And I know that takes a lot more because I get hand engraved pistols done all the time, and that's kind of my hobby, is finding artists and commissioning them to make pistols for me. Is that something that's ever done in this space, to actually get the artist to hand draw one and hand paint one?
Yeah, dude. There's a lot of artists out here who do commissions. Like for myself, for my Bored Ape, for instance, I've commissioned paintings. I've commissioned sculptures. I had it engraved on a bong. Like I've paid to have it created in so many different formats and ways that I just thought were cool to kind of like immortalize my ape. Like I even have like a 6x6 painting of my ape somewhere. So absolutely, yes. There's artists that'll do that all the time, and quite a range of artists as well. Like Jacopo down below, I draw animation. TJ's art, they both do amazing variant art for people all the time. I'm sure if I kept looking, I could probably see more artists just like sitting in the crowd. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I didn't know if it was like hand in hand with the artist that minted the collection being the one that could also hand draw it for you or hand paint it for you, if that was a feasible thing, or if it was just kind of standalone in the NFT and that was the end of the correlation. And besides it being, done on different stuff with different.
Yeah, I think it depends on the artist, right? Like, for instance, if you buy an NFT and you own the like IP rights to that image, you can commission any artist who's willing to do it on anything, right? So, but I bet like there's probably a lot of artists that do NFTs that don't work in physical media, right? Like painting with physical paint is a whole another monster, right? Some stuff translates really well to paint, right? Like any of these kind of cartoon, like